Hello everyone, welcome to the Google Hangout On Air. My name is Christina and I'm a university program specialist. That means that I travel around Europe, Middle East and Africa and I meet students like you and talk about our job opportunities, Google and Google culture.
And hi, my name is Janina. I'm an intern recruiter and I'm super excited to be talking to you today about internship opportunities at Google.
So here with us today, it's Ben Conway. Ben used to be an intern at Google, and now she has returned as a full-time employee in our small and medium businesses in sales.
Hi guys, I'm Ben. As she said, I'm from Dublin, where our EMEA headquarters are. And excuse the dress, I'm dressed as a bee today because it is Halloween, so excuse the wings.
Also with us, we have Timur Husseinov, who is joining from the amazing office in Google in Wrocław, Poland. And Timur used to be an intern as well, and he joined Google as a full-time employee in the Global Customer Experience team. Welcome, Timur.
Thank you very much, Christina. Hi, folks. Thank you for joining our Hangout. Again, my name is Timur. I'm originally from Azerbaijan. I was lucky enough to have an internship last year in Google in Wrocław, and after 1 year of graduation, I was offered a full-time position to come back here, so here I am.
Amazing. Welcome, everyone. So today we will be discussing about the life of a Google Business Intern. We will be deep diving in our small and medium business sales team and the Global Customer Experience team. But as some of you may know, we offer a variety of internships in different teams. In large customer sales team, marketing, finance, legal, Google for Work, and product quality operations. We will be also talking about the application process, how you can apply, what are we looking for, and also we will be giving you some tips on our some tips in order for you to be Google ready and prepare your CV and for the interview process. At the end, we will have a very short Q&A. So if you have any questions, we will be answering some of your questions. So since Timur and Ben have been interns at Google, you know, what is the scope of the business intern role? Ben?
I think I'm going to let Timur take this one. I think you had a better experience than I.
I think being a business intern at Google gives you a really great opportunity because you get to because you have to work with two main important parts. First of all, it's AdWords, one of the core Google products, and you really learn how digital marketing works. At the other side, you work with customers, and it's customers are Google's most important asset. So you really understand how your work can affect the development of their business. You really get a larger overview of how Google operates, what makes Google successful.
That's great. Thank you, Timur. So both of you have returned at Google as full-time employees. So I guess that you enjoyed your time here as intern. What is the one thing that made you choose Google?
Well, for me personally, I chose to come back because I love the team I was working with, and that really won me over. Also, the people, like as I said, the people who work here are really great. The work is really interesting, and you know, there's never one day that's the same, and it just was a really great experience. Plus, I had experience in business and marketing and sales, so it was a really perfect match for me.
From my side, I would agree with Ben that it's one of the best things about Google. It's the people that surround you. Indeed, Google actually employing the smartest people on earth. And for being here, I never stopped learning. I was always finding someone talking about interested topics, developing both professionally and personally. And on the other side, there is a lot of flexibility in working in GCE. If you have an analytical mindset, you can always find yourself a role in the team in which you will be working with and processing information. In my case, I don't like to work with a lot of information, but I rather prefer personal interactions with agencies, with businesses. So that's what I do in my team. So there are a lot of things to do, and you can choose what you actually want to be developing at.
That sounds great. So a lot of students, when I am in universities and I have different events with a lot of students, they're asking me if they should have a deep knowledge of our Google products, and in general, like what kind of training do you take when you join as an intern?
Well, when I joined as an intern, you've 1 week of Noogler training, which is new Googlers. They shorten everything, but so Noogler training, and that's really great. So you get a bit of product knowledge, you get to know a bit about the business, the culture, and you get to meet everyone that you start with. There's loads of nights out, activities planned, and it's really really good fun. And then when I was in the team, I got some more product knowledge with lots of one-to-one teachings, which was really nice with senior reps on the team who sat us down and went through stuff with us, and then we did AdWords fundamentals. So it was really, really thorough, and I learned so much.
And Timur, is it the same for the global customer experience team?
Definitely. I mean, when you come to the team, you're not expected to have any knowledge in AdWords or any knowledge about, say, any product-specific knowledge at all. All you need to do is to have passion and be willing to learn. And Google has all kinds of trainings: personal skills training, soft skill and hard skills trainings. And there are so many resources. In the end of the day, we are the largest informational company in the world. So there are a lot of places to learn. All you have to do is just to ask and search for it.
That's great. Thank you very much for that, Timur. So there are a lot of rumors going around the Google culture, the benefits, and all that we have. So what is one thing that surprised you most about the Google culture?
I think for me it was the inclusiveness and the ability to and encouragement to try new things. So if you want to try something and you're bold enough and you make a mistake, the important part is how you pick yourself up and dust yourself off, and you're actually sort of valued more highly the more you try, and that's a big part of what I really enjoyed about it. They encourage you to think big, which is great.
Yeah. And from my side, I would say that the thing that I really liked in Google's culture is everything around you encouraged you to give questions. When you don't know what to do, you always go to your colleague, you ask them, and they will stop what they're doing just to help you and clarify the issue for you. So this was really great to me compared to the other works. I was internet, where you have to do it all by yourself. Google culture is always supporting you to be part of the team.
Sounds good. So as a Google intern, you will be probably placed in an office somewhere in EMEA. And most of us here, we're not from Ireland. So I've moved in Ireland from Greece. Janina moved here to Ireland from Germany. And Timur, you are from Azerbaijan, if I'm not mistaken.
I studied in Bulgaria.
You studied in Bulgaria. That's amazing. So most of us have been relocated here in Ireland. And some students ask me, we won't really know anyone when we move to this country. So how easy was it for you to get to know people, kind of like get to know your host country?
Actually, this is one of the best things about the internship. You move to a new office, new people, everything new. And the best thing is how people around perceive you, because they realize that you're coming to a new country, and they really want to make sure you feel comfortable. They take you out. With my friends, I went for football games. We went to the theater. We went to play video games. So everything, depending on your interest, people around you are always very happy to take you out, to show you the city, to make sure you're comfortable with their friends. And when you really feel that people around really like you, they don't talk to you just because you're their colleague, but because they feel that you're now part of the Google family. It makes your adjustment to a new country very easy, very smooth. You start to enjoy it more. So now I'm back. When I was even an intern in Poland, I started to learn Polish, just to feel the culture. And I think it's really great. And absolutely, it doesn't matter which country you're coming from. When you come to, it doesn't matter which office you're coming from. The Google culture is universal. So you will be very welcomed.
That's really cool. So Timur and Ben, since you have been an intern here at Google, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to a student who is listening right now and would love to join Google as an intern?
Well, for the application process or the interview process, I definitely say just be confident in your abilities and give it all you've got, because they celebrate anything different here, which is really great. And then once you get the internship, I'd say work hard but enjoy it. It is probably the best thing I've ever done with my summer, and I've traveled all over the world. So.
Amazing. What about you, Timur?
For me, again, a lot of people, they are afraid, hey, Google is a big company, I'm not good enough. Those are the things that you should really get rid of. Google chooses really great people, and you're also smart and hardworking, so definitely apply, prepare your CV, prepare your CV. Yeah, talk to as many people as you can about Google. Talk to your recruiter in the beginning what's necessary to apply, and then just during the interview process, be yourself. Don't be someone who you're not. Talk about your interests. Talk about your passions. Talk why you actually want to join Google, because as Ben said, diversity is very much valued within the company. So just don't be afraid. Be confident. Confidence is king, and apply, and it's all gonna be great.
That's great. That's great advice. Thank you both. So since you both mentioned the application process, I think it's time to kind of like deep dive into that. So Janina, what is the application process?
Yeah, so as an intern recruiter, I'm obviously super excited to be receiving all your CVs over the coming weeks. Please make sure you send them in as soon as possible, because the application end date is coming closer and closer. It's 1st of December. As we previously mentioned, we have internships available all across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And actually, a question that we receive quite often is how flexible we can really be in terms of duration and start dates. And I'd say we work as well as we can with your availability. And on average, most of our internships start in the summer and are somewhere between 10 weeks and 6 months long. And well, we talked about SMB sales and global customer experience earlier, but actually we have a lot of teams across the business that are really excited to be working with bright young students like yourself. So you could be working with people in marketing, large customer sales, you know, legal, finance. There's a lot of teams that we could place you in.
Amazing. And who are we looking for? What's the criteria in order to be eligible for a business internship here at Google?
Yeah, so I think we prepared a little slide for you there. It's very straightforward. You need to be a current university student, returning to university after completion of your internship, and ideally graduating in late 2016 or in 2017. You could be studying anything from business to communications to computer science or humanities. What you're studying is ultimately not as important as that you have an interest in one of the following here on the screen. So that would be sales, customer support, account management, marketing, or consulting.
That's really cool. So if there are students out there listening to us and they're eligible to apply, how do they apply?
It's very easy as well. We have a short link here for you. That's g.co/internsenia. When you go on there, you'll find the job description for our business intern role. If you like what you see, please send in your CV by 1st of December and make sure to include your availability, your language skills, and a Gmail address, because we'll be using that later on to schedule your interviews. And yeah, oh, we don't need a cover letter. We don't need any official university transcripts at this point. It's really straightforward. And as soon as you click submit, we'll receive your application.
That's very straightforward. So if someone is interested and applies online, what is the next step? What's happening after that?
Yeah, my team will be reviewing your applications from now until spring on a rolling basis, and we'll work really hard to try and match the skills and experience that we find on your CV with one of the projects that we're hiring for. And if we do see a match, we'll reach out to you. One of us will be in touch, and then either ask for more information or immediately schedule a phone interview with you. If you get to phone interview stage, that's amazing. That's already half the battle won. So please expect 2 phone or Hangout interviews, and we'll be looking for the following 4 attributes. So we have, we'll be looking for how you think. We'll assess your leadership skills. We'll ask you some questions about your role-related knowledge. So that includes any work experience that you've had to date, anything that could be useful here at Google. And finally, we'll assess Googliness, which basically means we'll try and find out how well you will fit in here at Google.
That is great. Also very helpful and good to know. So we do have some time for questions, and we will be taking some questions from the audience. So we have a question from, if I see well, it's from Antoine from France. And Antoine from France is asking, how can I better prepare to rock a Google interview? That's a very good question, Antoine. So I think, Janina, that's for
Probably
you.
for me, yes. So what we often tell candidates is to look up the STAR method and to use that to answer any questions in the interviews. If you don't know what it is, Google it. There's lots of information about it online. It's basically describing the situation that you were in, the task that you were given, the action that you took, and the result that the end result that it led to. And another thing, a lot of people think that we use brain teasers here, which is not the case. I know some companies use these, but we haven't really found any value. So all of our questions are going to be somehow related to what you'll be doing here at Google and what you've previously done in your other internships or at university.
That's very good to know, because a lot of students asking me during events, do we get brain teasers questions and all that, so that's very, very helpful. So thank you for that. And then another question, we have another question from Ronnie from Israel, and Ronnie is asking, that's a question for Ben and Timur. So Ronnie is asking, what does a standard day look like at sales and at the global customer experience team?
Well, for sales, you come in, have your breakfast, go through, check your emails. Then there's a couple. I would get on the phone and do a couple consultations, which were pre-scheduled with some of our advertisers, work on their digital marketing strategy, and then it'd be time for lunch. Go for lunch with some friends, and then after that, I'd probably start on my project. So I worked on a project bringing customers into Google to teach them more, workshops to teach them more about AdWords. So that was really fun. So that was pretty much my typical day. And as I said, no day is ever the same. So, you know, variations on that. Timur?
Okay, so for me, well, I come to the office a bit earlier. Google has really great facilities, so I make use of them. I go to the gym and run and work out in the morning. Then I come have a really great breakfast, the healthy one, and then I get talking with the clients on the phone, over email. I receive the emails from them, trying to solve their problems. I also do a couple of consultations for them, how to develop their marketing strategy, how they want to build their relationship with AdWords. After that, I'm having lunch. After lunch, I'm doing more working with clients. GCE, I have spent a lot of time working with clients. And then in the end of the day, I always try to leave at least 2-3 hours just to work on my project. Since I mentioned in the beginning, or maybe I didn't, but I will, I am very interested in developing business development skills and strategic thinking, something consulting related. So as part of my team, we are now developing the new market called Belarus and Kazakhstan. Google is just beginning to enter those markets, and me and 4 of our colleagues, we are very happy to be one of the first ones to engage with the agencies, to educate them about Google products, to educate them about how to really effectively use Google to grow their business. And then in the end of the day, as I said, Google is a great community, so you just take some of your friends and we go to the movies, or we go play some football, or we're spending time in the office playing video games.
Wow, that sounds very cool. So you talked about projects, both of you talked about. So when you're joining Google as an intern, that means that you are working both on a project and then both of you're doing the core job?
Yeah, so it's 50-50. So I had as I said, I was in market. I probably should have mentioned that before. I worked for the Irish team here in Dublin. So we brought in a lot of Irish customers and had to educate them, as well as trying to grow startups. It's all very role related, but also it's sort of something that you can bring your own sort of shine to, I suppose. But yeah, 50-50, which is great.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. And it sounds like both of you were working in really, really cool projects.
Yeah, definitely. As the best thing about an internship, that you have a lot of free time just to work on your project, to use your creativity. In my case, I was working with social media. So I was creating proactive content for Russian Twitter, and Russian Twitter is, I think, the largest Google's Twitter. It's over 250,000, so it's like 250,000. So it's really huge. Yeah, and I was developing on restructuring how my social media basically social media team works. So it was they gave me a goal, and it was absolutely up to me how I'd like to reach this goal, which was really cool because I got to know a lot of Googlers from other offices, from Dublin, from Moscow, from London, just to get experience from them. And this network has taught me a lot. That it really helped me. My project really helped me to look at a bigger Google. So yeah, it's a great chance, guys, definitely.
Sounds great. Thank you, Timur. So that's it for today. We're running out of time, so we won't have time for any other questions. But if you do have any other questions, please make sure to register through the RSVP form. You will find the link in the description of this video. And what will happen is that we will be sending an email as a follow-up, and we will be having there some FAQs. So we might get to answer some of your questions there. So in the description below, you will also find the link which will redirect you to the to our intern roles. It's t.co/internsimia. You'll be able there to find all the roles that we have. And also, if you want to find any information around the application process, the Google culture, and all that, you can go to t.co/students EMEA. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, Janina, Tim, and Ben for coming here and joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. It was great talking to you. And if you're interested, please go ahead, apply online, and good luck with your application.
Good luck.